Dinosaurs. Mama didn't realize babysitting Luis was the worst job in the world. There he was, holding Abuela's ring that she had left to Mama. I knew how much Mama treasured it, and I wish Luis understood. I ground my teeth together. If he loses it while I'm watching him, I'll be in trouble. He blames me for everything. First, the broken garage window when we were playing ball, and he threw the ball at it. And now this. I sneaked up behind Luis. Put that back, I whispered. Luis jumped. David, I'm not hurting it. He put Mama's ring on the little red and orange sombrero-shaped ring dish at the corner of the sink. The ring's yellow diamonds winked in the sunlight. There. Scram! I grabbed the placemat decorated with chili peppers off of the kitchen table and tossed it at him. I missed. Luis picked it up from the floor and threw it back like a discus. I ducked, and the placemat landed on a little dish. I yanked it off and gasped as Mama's ring tumbled into the sink. No! I tried to catch the ring, but it disappeared. Oh, you're in trouble now, said Luis. You started it. I hate babysitting you. I wish I was out with my friends. I clenched and unclenched my fists. I'm going to tell, Luis chanted. I'm going to tell. Don't even try. I reached for him as he ran out the back door, but all I caught was air. Better keep quiet. Luis laughed as the door slammed. My stomach did somersaults and my mouth tasted bitter. I had to get Mama's ring back. I just had to. After I turned 12, Mama decided I was old enough to babysit when she and Papa weren't home. Just think of how much Luis looks up to you, David, Mama had said the other day. Play with him. If your roles were reversed, you'd want him to play with you. I knew what she meant, but she didn't know how bratty Luis was. I wished I could do what I wanted instead of being stuck with him. Turning back to the sink, I noticed the air shimmer with tiny swirling dots. Curious, I tiptoed over and peered into the drain. Mama's ring hadn't fallen through the metal crosspiece at the bottom. It sat on top of a piece of carrot. We didn't have a garbage disposal, so sometimes pieces of food stuck there. Jabbing a couple fingers down to get it, I poked something warm and squishy, climbing up through the drain. Watch it! A high-pitched voice commanded. I squeaked, yanking my hand back, shocked. I stared at a green, finger-length glob with thin arms and a large reptile head on a long, thick neck. Beady black eyes glared, tiny ears wiggled. 3 claw-like fingers wearing gold rings balled into fists and shook at me. Its fat, dress-covered belly jiggled. It looked like a weird dinosaur in clothing. How rude, it said in a huff. Don't you know not to poke at strangers? The air sparkled. I blinked, but the strange creature still stared at me. My hand shook as I pointed it in the drain. I dropped my Mama's ring down there. I have to get it back. Well, I haven't seen it, I'm sure. The miniature dinosaur straddled the holes in the drain, hands planted on the sides of her big belly. Unreal, I muttered. I'm talking to a dinosaur in the drain. Drainosaur? What? We're called Drainosaurs. She shrugged. We live in the kingdom of Drainovia. I'm Princess Doris Drainosaurus. Now hurry up and describe this ring you're talking about so you can leave me alone. It's a gold ring with 3 diamonds. It was right there a minute ago on a piece of carrot. Princess Doris Drainosaurus swiveled her head, looking around the drain. It's not here, so I guess you're mistaken. Well, goodbye. She reached behind to pick up the round chunk of carrot and placed it on her head like a hat. The ring was wedged on top. Hey, there's the ring! I reached for it. No! Princess Doris's fingers clamped onto the carrot and ring. It's the missing crown of Drainovia. We've been looking for it since the end of the Plumberian War. Now that I've found it, I've got to give it to the king. She moved to the other side of the drain, making the air shimmer. Wait! I shoved in 2 fingers. hooked the ring and tugged. The next thing I knew, I began to shrink. I grabbed for the faucet with my other hand, but it hit the handle and water started to drip down on me. I screamed. Fear knotted in my stomach. I became smaller and smaller until the sink surrounded me. The faucet towered over me and the water dribbled out. My breath caught in my throat as water splashed over me. I lost my balance and toppled through the drain. My feet pushed the squishy Drainosaur and we slid out of control. Help!